Have you ever wondered who decides what our coins look like? It's not as simple as someone just sketching a kiwi and calling it a day. In New Zealand, the big boss of our money is the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. They are the ones who have the final say on all the coins and banknotes that we use in our everyday lives. Think of them as the guardians of our currency, making sure everything is official and above board. It's a very important job, because they need to ensure our money is trusted, not just here at home, but all around the world as well. So, next time you're fishing for a $2 coin, remember there's a whole team of experts behind it. But here's a fun fact for you. Even though the Reserve Bank gives the green light, we don't actually make the coins ourselves right here in New Zealand. For a very long time, we've relied on experts overseas to do the heavy lifting. Most of our coins have been minted, which is the fancy word for made, at the Royal Mint in the United Kingdom. More recently, the Royal Canadian Mint has also been a key partner in producing our shiny currency. So, our coins are a bit like well-travelled kiwis. They're designed with our country in mind, but are often born overseas before they make their way into our pockets and purses. The process is quite a detailed one, as you can imagine. First, a decision is made about what event or theme should be celebrated on a new coin. This could be a significant anniversary or a tribute to our unique culture. Then, artists get to work creating beautiful designs that capture the spirit of the occasion. These designs are then sent to the government for approval through a process called an Order in Council. Once everyone agrees, the final designs are sent off to the mint overseas. The mint then uses powerful machinery to press these designs onto metal discs, creating the coins we know and love. This partnership between the Reserve Bank, the New Zealand government, and international mints is what keeps our currency system running smoothly. The Reserve Bank also has a commercial arm called New Zealand Post that handles the sale and distribution of special collector coins. So while the Reserve Bank is in charge of the money we spend at the dairy, New Zealand Post helps us get our hands on the beautiful commemorative coins that we might want to keep as a special memento. It's a well-oiled machine that ensures our nation's story is told through the small, round pieces of metal we carry with us every day. Let's take a trip back in time, long before we had our lovely Kiwi and Koru designs. The story of New Zealand's special commemorative coins begins in 1935. This was a very important year, as it marked the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi. To celebrate this moment, the government decided to create our very first commemorative coin. It was called the Waitangi Crown, and it was a big, beautiful silver coin. It was much larger than the coins we use today, and it felt very substantial in your hand. This wasn't a coin you'd use to buy your milk and bread. It was a keepsake, a piece of history you could hold. The design of the Waitangi Crown was truly something special. On one side, it featured the standard portrait of King George V, who was the reigning monarch at the time. But it was the other side, the reverse, that really told a New Zealand story. It showed a magnificent image of Ngāpuhi chief Tamati Wakanene shaking hands with Captain William Hobson, the first governor of New Zealand. This powerful image was designed to represent the partnership and agreement that the Treaty of Waitangi stood for. It was a bold statement for our country to make on its currency, capturing a pivotal moment in our shared history. Creating this coin was a major undertaking. The design was carefully crafted by a British artist named Percy Metcalfe, who also designed New Zealand's first set of standard coins in 1933. The coins were then struck at the Royal Mint in London. A small number were made available for people to buy, and they were incredibly popular. It showed that Kiwis were proud of their history and were keen to have a tangible reminder of it. The Waitangi Crown set the stage for all the commemorative coins that would follow, establishing a tradition of celebrating our nation's milestones in metal. Just 5 years later, another big occasion came along, New Zealand's centenary in 1940. This marked 100 years since the signing of the treaty. To honour this, another special coin was issued, the New Zealand Centennial Half Crown. This coin featured a stunning design of a Maori woman in traditional clothing, standing with her arms outstretched against a backdrop of mountains, clouds, and a traditional PA. It was another beautiful example of how coins could be used to tell our unique story. These early coins were more than just money, They were miniature works of art that celebrated our identity as a nation. For decades, New Zealanders were used to a money system that came from Britain. We had pounds, shillings, and pence. It was a bit complicated, to be honest. There were 12 pence in a shilling and 20 shillings in a pound. You had to be pretty good at your times tables just to go to the shops. All of our coins, like the half crown and the florin, were part of this old system. But as New Zealand grew and became more independent, people started to think that maybe it was time for a change. A simpler, more modern system was needed, one that was easier for everyone to use, especially kids learning about money. And so, the idea of decimalisation was born. The plan was to switch to a system based on tens, just like many other countries around the world. This new system would have dollars and cents, with 100 cents making $1. It was a massive undertaking that took years of planning. The government had to run a huge campaign to teach everyone about the new money. They created cartoon characters like Mr. Dollar to explain the changes in a fun and friendly way. Everyone was getting ready for the big switch, which was set for a very specific date, the 10th of July, 1967. When Decimal Day finally arrived, it was a huge event. Banks closed for a few days to prepare, and when they reopened, the old pounds, shillings, and pence were gone. In their place were crisp new dollar notes and shiny new coins. We got the 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, and 50-cent coins. It was a fresh start for our currency. The designs were all new too, featuring our amazing native wildlife. The 1-cent coin had a fern, the 5-cent had a tuatara, the 10-cent had a kiwi, and the 50-cent had the ship Endeavour. These designs became instantly iconic. This change wasn't just about making maths easier, it was a statement about our national identity. We were moving away from the old British system and creating something that was uniquely New Zealand. The new coins, designed by artist James Berry, celebrated our natural heritage. They were a daily reminder of the beautiful and unique country we live in. Decimal Day was more than just a currency change. It was a moment of national pride. It marked a key step in our journey as an independent nation, with a currency that truly reflected who we are. Ever since that first Waitangi crown in 1935, New Zealand has loved to mark special occasions with a coin. After the centennial half crown of 1940, the next big one came in 1969. This was to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Captain James Cook's first landing in New Zealand. A special $1 coin was issued, and it was a big deal. It was one of the first dollar coins of the new decimal era to have a commemorative design. It featured the Endeavour on one side and the standard portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the other. It was a popular coin that many people collected as a memento of this important historical anniversary. Fast forward to 1990, and New Zealand had another huge celebration. It was our sesquicentennial, marking 150 years since the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi. To honour this, New Zealand Post and the Reserve Bank went all out. They released a special commemorative 50-cent coin into circulation. This coin showed a stylised image of a hammer and an anvil, symbolising the building of our nation. Alongside this, a beautiful collector's silver dollar was also issued, featuring the signing of the treaty. These coins were a way for all Kiwis to feel part of the celebrations and reflect on our nation's journey over 150 years. The new millennium brought more opportunities to celebrate our history. One of the most significant commemorative programs in recent times was for the centenary of the Gallipoli campaign. Starting in 2015, a series of special coins were released to honour the service and sacrifice of our Anzac soldiers. A circulating 50-cent coin was issued with a design showing a New Zealand and an Australian soldier standing back to back. This powerful image, created by artist Dave Burke, became instantly recognisable. It was a way for every New Zealander to carry a small tribute to the Anzacs in their pocket. More recently, the tradition has continued with coins marking all sorts of events. In 2018, we had a coin to mark the 125th anniversary of women's suffrage in New Zealand, celebrating our world-first achievement. And looking ahead, the minting of special coins shows no sign of slowing down. For 2024 and 2025, there are already plans for coins to celebrate cultural milestones and historical events. These coins are like little time capsules. They capture moments in our history and allow us to remember and reflect on the people and events that have shaped our country into what it is today. Section 5. Everyday coins versus collector's treasures. It's important to understand that there are two main types of coins in New Zealand. First, we have the coins we use every day. These are called circulating coins. They're the ones you get as change from the supermarket, the ones you use in a parking meter, or the ones you might find down the back of the sofa. These coins are made from strong, durable metals, like steel plated with nickel or copper. They need to be tough because they get handled by thousands of people and passed around constantly. Their job is to be practical and to keep our economy moving smoothly. On the other hand, we have collector coins, which are also known as non-circulating or commemorative coins. These are very different. They are created as special keepsakes to mark a particular event, anniversary, or theme. Think of them as little pieces of art rather than everyday money. They're often made from precious metals like pure silver or even gold, which makes them much more valuable than the number printed on them. They're usually produced in much smaller numbers, which makes them rare and sought after by people who love to collect coins. You wouldn't use a gold collector coin to buy a pie, that's for sure. The designs on collector coins are often much more detailed and intricate than those on our everyday coins. Because they don't need to withstand the wear and tear of circulation, artists can create incredibly beautiful and complex images. They often come in special presentation boxes with a certificate that tells you all about the coin's story and its specifications. These coins are for people who have a passion for history, art, or the simple joy of collecting. They're a way to own a small, precious piece of New Zealand's story, beautifully preserved in metal. So how can you tell the difference? Well, the easiest way is to think about where you find it. If it's in your change, it's a circulating coin. Even the special commemorative 50-cent coins, like the Anzac one, are designed to be circulated and used. But the ones you buy from New Zealand Post, the ones in fancy cases made of silver or gold, are the collector's items. They have what's called legal tender status, which means they are officially recognised as currency. But their real value lies in their beauty, their rarity, and the story they tell. For nearly 40 years after Decimal Day, our coins stayed pretty much the same. We all got used to the size and weight of the 10, 20, and 50-cent pieces. They were quite large and heavy, made from a copper-nickel alloy that gave them a silvery appearance. But by the early 2000s, things were starting to change. The cost of the metal used to make these coins was going up. In fact, it was getting to the point where the metal in the coins was worth more than the number stamped on them. This was a problem for the Reserve Bank. So in 2006, the Reserve Bank made a big decision. It was time for our coins to go on a diet. The plan was to make our silver coins smaller, lighter, and from a cheaper material. The old, large 10, 20, and 50-cent coins were going to be phased out. In their place, we would get new, smaller versions made of steel plated with nickel. At the same time, the 1 and 2 cent coins were being withdrawn from circulation completely, as they were hardly used anymore. It was the biggest change to our coinage since 1967. The transition period was a busy time for everyone. The Reserve Bank ran a campaign called Coin In, encouraging Kiwis to gather up all their old coins and take them to the bank. For a few months, both the old and new coins were in use at the same time, which could be a little confusing. But people quickly got used to the new, lighter coins. They were much less cumbersome to carry around in your pocket. The designs on the coins remained the same, the Kiwi, the Maori carving, and the Endeavour. But they were now on smaller, shinier canvases. This change also meant that the old 50-cent coin, which had often been used for special commemorative designs, was now a different size. This opened up new possibilities for future commemorative issues. The 2006 coin update was a practical decision driven by economics, but it had a lasting impact on the look and feel of our money. It showed that our currency has to adapt and evolve with the times. It was a smart move that saved money and made our pockets a little bit lighter, all while keeping the familiar Kiwi designs that we all recognise. For most of our history, coins were just plain old metal. They were silver, bronze, or gold in colour, and that was that. But as minting technology improved around the world, something amazing started to happen. Mints found a way to add colour to coins, and it completely changed the game. Suddenly, coins could be more vibrant and eye-catching than ever before. New Zealand watched this trend for a while, and then, after 2015, we decided to jump in and add a splash of colour to our own special collector coins. One of the first and most famous examples of this was part of the Anzac Centenary commemorations. Alongside the circulating 50-cent coin, New Zealand Post released a stunning collector's version. This coin featured the same design of the two soldiers, but with one key difference. The poppy in the middle was printed in a brilliant, vibrant red. This small touch of colour made the design incredibly powerful and moving. It brought the symbol of remembrance to life in a way that plain metal never could. It was a massive hit with collectors and the public alike. Since then, colour has become a popular feature on many of our special issue coins. It allows the artists to be much more creative and to represent their subjects more realistically. We've seen coins with the beautiful blue and green of a power shell, coins celebrating our native birds with their colourful plumage, and even coins featuring characters from popular culture in full colour. This technology has transformed commemorative coins from simple metal discs into miniature, multi-coloured canvases. It adds a whole new layer of beauty and appeal for collectors. This move to colour shows how our coins continue to evolve. They are not just stuck in the past, they are embracing modern technology to become more engaging and artistic. While our everyday circulating coins will likely remain plain metal for practical reasons, the world of collector coins is now brighter and more colourful than ever. It's an exciting development that allows the stories we tell on our coins to be even more vivid and memorable, ensuring that these little treasures will continue to capture our imagination for years to come. For an incredible 70 years, the face of Queen Elizabeth II has graced our New Zealand coins. From the old shillings and pence right through to our modern dollars and cents, her portrait has been a constant presence. We've seen her image change and mature over the decades, with 5 different official portraits used on our currency since her coronation in 1953. For most Kiwis, she is the only monarch we have ever known on our money. Her image became a symbol of stability and tradition, a familiar face in our pockets and purses every single day. But in 2022, this long era came to an end with the passing of the Queen. Her son, Charles, became King Charles III, and this meant a big change was coming for our coins. A new monarch means a new portrait on our currency. The process of creating and approving this new design began almost immediately. Buckingham Palace approved an official portrait for use on coins across the Commonwealth, including here in New Zealand. This new portrait shows the king facing to the left, which is a tradition that goes back centuries. The monarch on a coin always faces the opposite direction to their predecessor. The first of these new coins featuring King Charles III are expected to start appearing in our change from 2024 onwards. The Reserve Bank has confirmed that the new coins will be gradually introduced, starting with the 10-cent piece. It will be a strange but historic moment for many New Zealanders to see a new face on their money for the first time. The old coins featuring the Queen will not be recalled. They will continue to be legal tender and will circulate alongside the new ones for many years. Our change will become a mix of old and new, a reflection of this major transition in our history. This change marks the beginning of a new chapter for New Zealand's currency. All new coins minted from now on, both the ones we use every day and the special collector editions, will bear the portrait of King Charles III. It's a significant moment that reminds us of the connection between our own country and the British monarchy. Seeing the new king's effigy on our coins will be a tangible link to this new era. It's a powerful reminder that the coins in our pockets are not just pieces of metal. They are markers of history, changing as the world changes around us. So, what does the future hold for the coins in our pockets and our collections? One thing is for certain, they will continue to tell the story of New Zealand. With the new portrait of King Charles III now being rolled out, we are at the start of a whole new era in our coinage history. We can expect to see his image on all our coins over the coming years, from the 10-cent piece right up to the $2 coin. This gradual change will be a slow and steady reminder of this moment of transition, as the Queen's coins and the King's coins mix together in our daily lives. The world of commemorative coins is also set to get even more exciting. New Zealand Post and the Reserve Bank are always looking for new stories to tell and new ways to tell them. We can expect to see more innovative designs, perhaps using new minting techniques or even different shapes. The use of colour has been so popular that it is almost certain to continue, bringing our nation's flora, fauna and history to life in vibrant detail. Themes will continue to celebrate our unique culture, our sporting achievements, and our significant historical anniversaries, ensuring there is always something new for collectors to look forward to. Of course, we also live in an increasingly digital world. More and more of us are using electronic payments, tapping our cards or phones to pay for things. This has led some people to wonder if we will even need physical coins in the distant future. While the use of cash might decrease over time, it's unlikely that coins will disappear completely anytime soon. They are still a vital part of our economy, especially for small transactions, and they provide a level of privacy and accessibility that digital payments sometimes can't. They are a reliable backup when technology fails. Ultimately, the journey of New Zealand's coins is a journey of our nation itself. From the first colonial coins to the proud, independent designs of Decimal Day, and from the solemn silver of the Waitangi crown to the colourful creations of today, our coins reflect who we are. They celebrate our heroes, remember our history, and showcase the natural beauty of our home. As we move into the future, our coins will continue to evolve, adapt, and tell our story, one small, round piece of metal at a time. And that's a tradition worth holding on to.